Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Lee. This is JLeesCorner. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion Season 1, Episode 3 and whatnot, okay? Girl, basic face, no lipstick, curls, because it is 3 a.m. and I want to get it done, okay? But first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBirds, dun, and all that goodness and stuff, okay? You can also follow me on social media at J_Lees_Corner. You can like this video, comments in the comment section, share it on your social media by hitting the little share button. Also, all the links to my social media and all the information you may need is where in the description box below. Okay, do not forget to relax, to relate, to release, to center yourself and everyone around you. Okay, to inhale and to exhale, because sometimes we forget to do that all up and through. Okay, I feel like this episode is 3 a.m. and I don't want to yell because it's so quiet. So if I'm whispering, just ignore that, okay? Anyway, but again, this episode I felt like had a direct story being told. And I feel like our TVs and social media and our brains was saturated with all the devastation that went on this summer that I don't want to relive it. So this is gonna be a short review, okay? We see Bambi and Scrappy or whatever in the room or whatnot, and Bambi letting Scrappy know I'm finna go to the spa. Sierra set up a spa day for the girls or whatever. I need this spa day, Scrappy. Okay, I need it or whatever. And so she going in. Now Scrappy, on the other hand, is saying how he really wants to work on his marriage. He really wants his marriage to work. He really wants to work things out with his wife. He then says, because I feel like, or I want people to know that what's going on between me and Bambi is between me and Bambi, not between everybody else. Then, brother, get off of this reality show. You cannot come on a reality show called Family Reunion with your wife who you beefing with and then want to keep all y'all business to yourself. If you want to privately fix your marriage, get off of the public reality show that's on VH1. Don't do that, Scrap. You can't do both, bruh. And I feel like if you and Bambi had issues y'all need to fix, why y'all not on the relationship show that's coming on in March? Why weren't y'all over there if y'all trying to work things out? Because on that show you got Yandy and DC. Was it Yandy? I think so, yeah. Yandy and DC's. You got Rashida and Kirk, okay, Delicious, and Raymond Santana, okay. They got Michael Blacks and some Chinese lady. I don't know who she is. Again, why wouldn't you, Ray J and Princess, why wouldn't they have Bambi and Scrap on there if they having issues? Girl, bye. Anyway, we then see Jock. Jock is walking around with his son, who I think his name's Armani. Armani is Jock's oldest kid out of his 8 children. Girl, he been working. Okay, now he brings up how his son was recently arrested for doing donuts in the parking lot of Jock's club. I'm looking like, what? It's donuts? People do, girl, I guess Atlanta different than Detroit. Anyway, but Jock wants to get his son on the straight and narrow and keep him there, okay? Because he like, I just feel like he needs to kind of not be out here fucking up on my watch or whatnot. And when they chatting, Evan, who the fuck is Evan? Armani brings up how you saying it's cool to be with my dad or whatever. Now, Jock then say, yeah, I see you trying to get on Carly's daughter, Jasmine. Just make sure you know what I'm saying that you got some protection. Armani then said, I got 3 boxes of condoms. Jack said, what did you think you was going to do here? He said, you know what I'm saying, look, well, the apple don't fall far from a tree. I'm saying, I'm trying to stay prepared. Meaning, Daddy, you got 8 kids, okay? You have 8 whole children. I don't want to have 8 children. I'm going to have all the condoms just in case. That's a great girl. He learned quick. So they then talk about how they were happy to be able to spend time together there after suffering a lot of loss going on, like I guess within the past 2 months or whatever, including Jock's nephew who was killed in front of Jock's club. Your son was arrested in front of your club and your nephew was killed for your club. Is the front of your club safe? I feel like what's going on here? Something, because something don't sound right. Jack, clear away the riffraff from your club, okay? Now, Amani, is it Amani? I think it's Amani. Amani brings up how, that, sunshine, we don't get along. Sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't. And Jack said the time we not getting along is when you out here being dumb, doing dumb shit, and I'm trying to tell you what not to do, and you don't listen to me, okay? That's when we don't get along. And Amani brings up, well, it's about, how you say things to me, though. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to keep repeating things to me because, I need you to be patient with me. I need you to know that I can't change overnight. I need you to know it's my life and I'm not going to do things on your. I'm like, all these excuses of reasons why you telling me something correct to do, but you don't want to do it on his time or whatever. Because it's my life. I got to do things in my time. Okay, fine. But Jock brings up, look, I just want you to know that when I'm being hard on you, like when I'm being real hard on you, it's because I see me and you. I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. So I'm trying to steer you away from potholes that I have already hit. Okay, so again, I only be on you tough when I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's stuff I would do. Let me make sure that he don't do that. But again, little boy don't know that or whatever. Okay, so they hug or whatever. Okay, Dad, it's all love, Dad. It's all love. They hug it out. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, now we then see the ladies. It was Carly, her daughter Jasmine, Sierra, Paris, Bambi, and April. Yes, all it was. Okay, now Trina and Joy, who we have not seen much of at all or whatever. Trina and Joy was supposedly tired and hungover from last night. Who was lying? Don't look like y'all lying. Yandy is somewhere planning an event she doing later. And Erica, of course, was not invited because, who wants to have Erica there if Bambi there? Like, you can't have Scrappy's baby mama and wife who don't really get along. They not beefing either, but it would be awkward. Now Bambi was up there talking and chit and chatting or whatever. And she brings about, I've been going through so much. I've had a whole rough time lately. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. And Sierra brings up how much Ave, like a role model that Bambi has been, seeing how Bambi is a stepmom to Imani. So Sierra then said, it makes me want to be a better stepmom. I'm like, with two kids. Like, does BK have kids? I'll leave that be, but again, whatever. But she brings about, this is a great thing to see Bambi be so great as a mom and as a stepmom or whatever, little bonus mom or whatnot. And that make Bambi cry a little bit. Sometimes I need to hear stuff like that from people I care about. Because that means Scrappy ain't shit. And Scrappy don't let her know how good of a job she's doing as a mother and as a wife. Because Scrappy's a childish or whatever, okay? So we then see Bambi and Sierra have a little separate chit chat and whatnot, okay? Now she brings up how, being stuck in the house, then being pregnant, starting a whole new business or whatever. It was a whole lot for me or whatever. And I would talk to Scrap, but I would tell him that I don't feel like myself, okay? And all he would say would be how what he got going on with how he has to now take care of 3 kids. He would come at me with his bullshit when I'm trying to come at him with mine, okay? I'm trying to tell him how I feel, and he ain't listening to me at all or whatnot, okay? And he go, she also brings up how, you know what I'm saying, she feel like she be trying to be on him to be good, get along with Erica or whatever, because they daughter, she getting older or whatever, and it's gonna be crazy for her to not see her parents talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna affect her too if she don't see them having effective communication and whatnot. Now, seriously, that make me remind me of how my ex, you know what I'm saying? He misused and abused me. He took all advantage of me, whatever. He did not listen. Girl, fuck you and Shooter. Okay, you and Shooter are divorced, and girl, I need her to leave that alone. You got a whole new man in your life. I don't think anything that Bambi tell you about her and Scrap should revert you to a conversation about you and Shooter. Don't do that. Don't do that. But she do bring up how they have to be women and show their kids how to have effectively communicating relationships with parents and whoever, even within friendships. We have to show them how to communicate positively. Well, none of y'all do that. Not a one. Now we also see Carly and her daughter go off and have a whole conversation. First of all, I don't like that they here in this spot in hot ass Arizona with a face full of makeup. Carly's face look casket ready, okay? Casket sharp around here. Gorilla glue edges and all. I'm like, girl, I need some fresh faces when you go on to a spa. But again, this show is fake and whatnot. Okay, anyway, they chit and chat. Now, while they were sitting with all the girls, Jazz started crying because she feels like, her mom has a closer relationship with her friends than she has with her. So seeing her talk to the girls or whatever, and just her mama interact with her friends, it made her cry about that or whatever. And so when they talk separately, and Carla, oh, what's going on, babe? What's wrong? Okay, Jazz was like, look, Ma, it's hard for me to be around you a lot now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was not around you growing up, but I wasn't around you. I wasn't around Daddy because the grandparents raised me. Cardi then said, I had to work my ass off, okay, to make sure that you were not, wanting for anything. Meaning, I wasn't raising you because I was working and that's what it was or whatever. And even though that's a good thing, sometimes you have to realize giving your kid all the money they need to live or whatnot does not replace you in their life. And while you feel like you was out here working, you miss your daughter's life, and now she 26 crying about y'all not have no, good relationship or whatever. And she starts crying again, and this isn't fair. Now I want her to be more expressive. I feel like she did not just explain all her feelings or whatever. I get she, missed that whole mother daughter bond growing up, but I wish she would have just elaborated a little more. And when my body just needs you to give me more props, okay? If you can just give me more, I'm like, okay, that's fine. And she stopped crying. Jasmine, I am proud of you and I love you. Okay. Anyway, we then see the fellas. The fellas sitting around, chitting, eating some pizza or whatever, smoking some cigars, just having a good little time or whatever. Now we see Mendeecees bring up how, since coming home after being gone for 4 years in jail, it's been hard because Yandy got these 18,765 businesses that she run or whatever, and I've been home just wondering what's to eat. And said, I can't leave the house. What can I do? I ain't got shit to do. So again, them being in the house all the time, COVID or whatever, it made them start having these little petty arguments. Okay? It was more petty and petty and petty. Okay, Ray J then say that's what happened with me and Prinky. Okay, that's what happened with us. Okay, we had little small petty arguments that turned into big arguments. I'm looking like Ray J, but I feel like you doing bullshit was also a reason for some of those arguments or whatever. He then brings up how initially, Princess filed for divorce. He said, I did not know. I found out about it online or whatever. My mama called me and said, Ray J, this is true. He said, well, I don't know. She ain't told me nothing. So she first filed for divorce. They then got back together. He said, I then moved us here or whatever. We was back together and whatnot. And then we got into a whole nother argument. Okay. And at that time, he said she calling me bitches and hoes. She's going off. I'm a bitch. I'm a hoe. I ain't shit. She going off. And then she said, go to your room. And he said, I said, what? Go to my room. I'm looking like, Lord Jesus. So anyway, his thing is she be so rude to me. I think you've been cheating on her. Not be the reason she be pissed off, but I'm gonna leave that be too. He said, you know what? I just feel like how she would treat me at that point in time, it was too much for me. Even though I've done bullshit to her, you pushed her in the pool. Y'all weren't married yet, but you pushed her in the pool at one point. Right there, you ain't shit. But anyway, he bring up how I know that she loves me, but I do wonder if she likes me. She probably don't like you. It may be a lot of people who don't like Ray J. Mama may not like him, but she loves him. Let it go, okay? Anyway, now we do see like Joy and Trick kind of fussing back and forth. A little funny, not nothing real. Cause Joy walking around in a robe, okay? You need to take that robe off. You can't be walking. He said you need to go put some clothes on. Like you can't be walking around here in that robe. It is rude for your husband. Because truth be told, Trick and Joy are still legally married, even though they have been separated for years. For years, they are still legally married or whatever. Whatever, Trick, we getting a divorce. I don't care. I'm your husband now. And I'm looking like, damn, he not lying. He is still currently your husband or whatever. So again, laugh, 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 joke, 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 funny, 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 whatever. Now Trick brings up how, I can't believe, it hurt me when Joy filed for divorce. But I feel like I'm saying, I don't matter if she get a new dude, but I have to pick him. I'm like, bitch, what? He said he want to pick Joy new man because she can't be with somebody who isn't better than him. You can't leave me and go to somebody like some nobody. I'm like, Trick, girl, I don't. I would not want Trick picking my new dude. I don't think Trick is a good picker. I don't. Now, they get on Lil Fizz a little bit, but do we care? Not much. All he says he's single now. I am single now. I am single now. I am single now. We didn't see the producers say, well, what, would you see yourself in April being friends after breaking up? He said, look, I am not friends. I do not befriend exes. I'm saying I might fuck you, but after that, I'm not going to talk to you no more. I said, so you will fuck an old ex, but you won't. You have to talk to them to get to the fucking. But maybe, God, it's just stupid. Now, we do see a little small scene of April and Paris getting massages. When I say I didn't get not no fucks, I did not give not no. The fact that Paris was wearing a white beater while getting, I'm like, why is you wearing a white beater t-shirt while getting a massage? We don't get your body massaged. Okay, honey? Naked. Okay, honey? Do it. Anyway. They bring up how we all just make up because we had a whole fight at the last reunion. But I'm like, we didn't care. It was a whole thing where, Paris called April a hoe for having sex with Fizz, but lying about fucking Fizz. We don't get no fucks, though. So I'm like, let's move on past that or whatever. Now, Trick at the house with the girl with the guys or whatever. Is bring up how he likes April, he think April's cute or whatever. He then bring up how he is the CEO of the Eat the Booty gang. I was like, it's like you see Trick's face and you look like you eat booty. It's just nasty, whatever. Anyway, he say April is like Tiger Woods' race. I was like, it means she's black and Asian. It's just so dumb. Trick is very. He needs some classes on what to say in public, okay? He needs that immediately, if you ask me or whatever, okay? Now, we then see the men sitting around and, they're talking or whatever. And you see Jock has his phone in his hand, and he was like, no. And he was like, what the fuck is going on with Jock? And he kind of get up, and he kind of walks away, and saw something like Fizz, and I think Scrap picked his phone up to see what he looked at, because he didn't say what he saw. He just saw something or whatever, and he found out that Mo 3 was killed. Was he in Dallas? I think he was in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken. But Mo 3 was a new rapper or whatever, and he was like chased down on the freeway and shot and killed. Like, it wasn't an accident. It was crazy, okay? And so Jock was his friend or whatever. So again, Jock lost his nephew, recently or whatever. He said it's like this may be his fourth or maybe sixth person within the past 2 months who, had died or whatever. So Jock was like, he took the news, like he got up, needed a break, was crying. It was very sad to see him get that news, and that's what the thing be when someone passed away and no one tells you what you read about it. It fucks you up or whatever. Okay, it's kind of bad. So Scrap talks to Jock, and this brings up how they just have to advise the younger generation that when they get on in music or whatever to move on from that bullshit. And sorry. And it's true. A lot of times, some of these artists, it's so sad that they get popular real quick and they never quite leave the hood life or the street life or whatever. And then they get wrapped up in that. And then somebody who's jealous or just mad or whatever, finds them and do dumb shit. I always say there's no reason for you to prove you still hood and hang out in your hood. that's dumb, because it will always be assholes who may just be jealous and want to take you out. And a lot of our young artists, be that in music or whatever other way, or is being killed over bullshit. It was crazy. Jack brings up how, that's why he's always telling his son to be aware of these streets. Like, be aware of what's going on in these streets or whatever. I tell him all the time when he at my club, like, don't be outside in that parking lot. Like, you can't be out here just hanging out because you don't know what these other fools is into. And you just can just happen to be standing next to someone who had beef, and then you get killed. Okay, I'm like, that really happens. He brings up how his nephew was killed, and his nephew and the son used to hang out all the time. So again, it's a miracle that the son was not also killed or whatever. Now, Scrappy brings up how he always advises his daughter to always be aware of your surroundings. I'm the same way. Like, I refuse to walk to my car or walk in my house. Like on the phone, I have to put my phone up. I need to hear footsteps, and all of that. Even my mom, I'm like, Mom, get off your phone, put your phone in your purse, and be aware, because you never know who's just looking for someone to, whatever. So I'm like, I always say, we have to get used to not consistently having to be stimulated in one way or the other. Like, sometimes take your headphones out. Don't always have to plug yourself into something to distract you from life. Like, sometimes just pay attention to your surroundings, okay? Anyway, so Trick brings up for him, his son is in his second year of college, and he's never been to the hood. He's never been to a block party or whatever, and he ain't gonna never go. He I'm going to try my best to not let my son be taken by these streets. As a father, that's my job. It's true. I feel like, slaves had to get their kids to be, protected from, slave masters or whatever. And then in the city, you had to be protective towards, races like this. Now we have to make sure kids are just safe from each other. It's crazy. Like, every generation, there's a different type of attack on black people. And it's like this time frame is like black on black plus police plus races. It's hard right now, because everything is all happening at once, and it's crazy. So, Mendices brings up how he get it because he lost his brother when he was younger, and to this day he still, gets sad from that. Now, we do see Jack goes and talks to his son, and lets his son know what happened with Mo3 and whatever. He like, oh, Dad, to see my dad so emotional, it makes me realize how much you really care. And then Jack tells his son, you got to be the best person you can be, because you only have one life. And, they just kind of hugged it out. And Jack brings up how he never wants to have to bury any of his kids. Like, he'd rather he go out first. I think every parent feels that way. It's just, girl, so sad. Oh, Lord Jesus. Anyway, so Yandy then has this Black Lives Matter event, and she has Tamika Mallory and my son Lennon there to speak. And, they're talking about people just using their voice to express, Black Lives Matter. You can't be out here not using your voice for the right reasons. And, because we are being killed one by one. And we see, all the people there, all the cast, they're dressed in all black, okay, for this event or whatever, because again, this is what Yandy planned. And look, I am in no way, shape, or form trying to ignore what was said and the message or whatever, but again, our news feed and everything, it was a heavy year in 2020, and my channel, I don't want to be on there. I'm here for fun and whatnot, okay? They sat around and talked and chit-chatted about things and whatnot, okay? And the rest of the episode was about them saying, we should not have to deal with this bullshit right now. We have to use our voice to be the voice of the people or whatever. But it was a heavy episode in the end. I don't want to deal with that, because again, we've been dealing with that for so long. And again, we know Black Lives Matter, and I'm leaving it at that. Okay, so that was our episode. I am done. Going to bed.